So hello everyone, I'm here with my review of Kakegurui episode 12, the final episode. I really don't like a long review of the whole anime, so I might do it long here as well. But generally, pretty lackluster ending. Like, it was surprisingly anticlimactic, even though she had a climax. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, even though I had a climax scene here with Yumeko, the ending was just like, wow. That was weird. Very lackluster ending part, the epilogue part. Surprisingly, actually. I expect there some kind of cliffhanger there, but I expect it to be way bigger, right? Way bigger. Way stronger somehow. It just felt weird, like, because this anime, and I mean weird in a bad sense, because the anime has a lot of weird moments, like, I don't know, everyone getting excited when the author is like, I'm gonna do this now! I'm gonna be a replay! I was like, oh, he's a man! And everyone's going into that, it's like, why is like Mary's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do him after this. Why was he getting the horror medicine suddenly? It's like, that's just weird. But, like, generally, they have that kind of weird, right? Weird faces, fat faces, weird scenes, weird sexualized scenes, and so on, right? But, the ending to me was weird and kind of like, oh, that's it? Kinda, yeah, like, it's kind of like, instead of being maximum to the right, it was maximum to the left side, right, to be right. Instead of being up, it was down, right? Because the other scenes are weird, crazy up here. This was like weird down here. I mean, like, this is just strange, weird. Yeah, what's happening? Because after they beat her, kinda, right? It's like, oh, now we're out of money or something. It's like very much like very mellow, very like very just undramatic ending. It's like, okay, yeah, we kind of won by taking that card, and then the last like for me it was like, okay. And then I see some other characters like, oh, she's back to play this game. Yumeko is getting off playing some card with some random people. She's getting high from that. Like, she has her nails back. Yeah, it's like, what's happening? What's this epilogue? It's like, it's just so mellow, it's just so calm. It's like, and then she does this like Suicide Squad. I am thinking Suicide Squad when I see the scene, right? Maybe it's more the media, I don't know, but as soon as I see her, Runa, she's lying there on the floor, right, with the cars around her like that. I'm like, oh, President, you like this news? Like, I was like, okay, this is definitely the Joker in Suicide Squad. And but yeah, so it's like, okay. And then I see President, I guess he's naked there, he's like taking the call nude because, you know, it's Kakegurui, so he has to be like, you can't answer the phone if you have close to the right. Of course not. So it's like, yeah, it's like, the ball is in motion. Pretty much, yeah, it's like, oh, this is the beginning. Yeah, it's like, oh, cliffhanger. But everything else up to that point was like, this is just like, nothing is happening. So it was like awfully non-weird. Like, I do say that, okay, nothing happens, it's weird, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's the main issue, right? Like, very lackluster conclusion, where it just kind of ebbed out into nothing. And the pacing was just bad. I think that's the main issue of the episode. I don't say it's a negative every time, every week, every so on, with this anime, but it's really, but this episode I think was actually pretty bad, like seriously bad, compared to many other episodes. Many other episodes, especially the other girl, was pretty, like, okay, yeah, that's very funny, has a moment, has sex enough, but this was just like, the actual game was really lackluster, and the pacing was like, there's a dead space there, dead time for like 5+ minutes, nothing happening. And then the last 5 minutes, nothing happening, right? So it felt like it was like this half episode had absolutely no meaning. And for a final, it just was like very much like, meh, right? And I think that's a big no-no, right? I mean, comparing it to, I don't spoil anything, or the animes, but compared to what I saw this week, also we saw Suzui Children this week, and that episode had like, oh yeah, like, no, every character's getting back in, and you know, like that is like it's a nice crossover, kind of big scenery. Yeah, that has a kind of conclusion part for one of the couples and so on. That felt like an ending, yeah. That felt like a lot of like an ending. And then like what you saw was like a frustrating bad ending. but then if you're frustrated, you're like, oh god, how could they do this? Yeah, and then you have so you have the negative emotions, which is like positive, but at least you have some emotions. But when I see this ending, it really is like that means like a weird sense of it. I was like, huh, nothing kinda was resolved, but kind of was like, yeah, like it just kind of ended in the middle. I feel like the whole epilogue was like everything is back to beginning again, everyone is happy or something. I was like, what? Right? So I was like, this was actually particularly bad. Like, really bad. But yeah, let's just go over the episode. No, but the problem is, the beginning is good. I actually like the beginning of it. Before the opening, so that they're talking about cheating. She's like, no, there's no gambling. I respect that. Definitely relate to that, because you don't want to play a game you're gonna win. Then there's no risk, then there's no emotion, right? So obviously, because she's against that, because she's like, woohoo, I wanna fight everything and so on. That makes sense. But after the opening, I think it's really bad. I think it's one of the worst parts ever in this anime. After the opening, it's just like dialogue exposition. Just talk to each other. And I know a lot of anime does that. I know a lot of media does that, but I mean that they're talking, they're not saying anything like meaningful, right? They're just like, we're gonna play a game. Oh, are we? So come that girl and runs around there, oh, you guys are here! Or it's like, yeah. So you wanna play a game? Well, not your game. Like, it's that kind of level of it, right? It's just so like mellow. It's just like, I mean, even like the scenes were few and rare here, right? And all the episode had much more like fetish faces scenes and so on, and it was like really badass. This had her climax scene, but all the girls kind of getting hot for Ryōta just before that. And then it had like, it had two scenes with Runa with lolipop, of course. Those are good scenes. But like the president or vice president, the twins, she had no scenes. That really disappointed me. She had one little scene. She was staring at them, kinda meaning like, I'm gonna kill you all. Like that was the only good her face scene, right? So there was no edge with her at all. And we seen her earlier, or her sister, whoever, one of them. We've seen them earlier going into like Mary, doing some jewelry stuff, right? We've seen them doing a bunch of weird, edgy stuff basically, right? Like borderline hentai stuff and so on. It was not doing that at all. She was actually, I think honestly, she was really bored in the episode. Like she was just there, right? And during the game, she was like, "Hoo, you took that card." Like she had like no interaction. She was completely pointless in this episode. Really was. I mean, the friend like Runa, right, the little girl with the lollipop and so on. She had like 10 times more screen time than her, and she had the fetish. She had that just looking at Isuka, like staring her down. She was like, "Oh, the shock." So she had way more screen time. Way more faces, way more dialogue, yeah. The president, or vice president, or whatever, right? One of the twins, whoever it really was, I guess obviously was the weaker one than the younger sister, right? She did nothing really. She was just there. Turned one card around, and then she kind of left, right? So it was really, really pointless. And that's kind of the issue, right? But 5 minutes there after the opening, they just kind of talk to her, and nothing happened. She just didn't even do anything, like, yeah. And obviously she says kind of finally, or exciting, or weird, or crazy. So you just kind of talk to them normally and say, okay, let's play a game. But like they don't start. You just kind of pace and pace. The padding is horrible. Wasn't anime. And then actually play the game and turn like 3 cards, right? The actual game was horrendous, of course. The actual gameplay was absolutely bad. Absolutely just horrendously bad. That's the surprising, right? The anime is horrible because of the actual gambling. And that was just ridiculously boring. And there was very little of that, yeah, so... But it still feels like that's for an ending of an anime. Not that I expected much more, because anime has never succeeded in being good gambling ever, but I expected that maybe at least in the final episode they might have some, some good idea. Didn't. Not very disappointed then, but it's kind of like, yeah, kind of expected nothing bad, nothing good, it's nothing, it's like kind of whatever. But, yeah, like where were her, like she just played it right, yeah, like where were her, where was like the twins' faces, right? The etchy, yeah, it wasn't there. She just stood there and watched them touch each other. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Yumeko scene where she can struggle up on his arms and like starting to, try to seduce. Obviously that's a good scene, and she just stands there like, she is hot for him, like nice, like that's her only, yeah, like what did she do, right? So I think that was a big issue with it, a huge issue with it. But we haven't seen her. We've seen her a lot of times. There's a lot of build up, and this was like the pay episode, right? We had the build up, the class president or this her twin or whatever, right? But we build up this character for like 10 episodes. So it's been every now and then, especially her and Mara. She was like, Mara, I'm gonna, and here's like nothing. Obviously, it's sister, right? But we have different personalities, but still, like, yeah, like she's there, and the payoff isn't there. Right? There's no payoff, so. that is just pointless. And the final episode is really, really weak. And after that, her chances to do stuff, they just had this weird epilogue where nothing happens. So, and it's, yeah, like how you just felt so bad, so boring too. She was like, oh, I lost. Or, oh, I was evil. It was like it didn't matter. So it's like, okay. And then her aide is like, oh, I love you. I also had a software and I saw you playing or something. He's like, yeah, good girl. I was like, yeah, I know you're slut, good girl. That was never to go on. And I was like, what? Right? Like, okay. And then I was like, so really, really lackluster. And it's just more lackluster than what I expected it to be. And I say that I'm trying to be as positive as I can, honestly, because I'm like, wow, it's actually surprisingly lackluster. I expected it to be at least a kind of, we had the climax scene, but otherwise I expected it to be some huge, like, at least the game was gonna be big, or at least, I said it again here, we're gonna see the class president or the twin, but whoever that character's assigned, aesthetic, so on, do something weird, or in there, touch someone, kiss someone improperly, something else. She was just like, that's for her whole screen time, right? So, I'm actually surprised how lackluster it was. Really, really was. The whole anime, I mean, generally was that, but this episode actually was. You just feel, again, I think the point I would say primarily is that after the early episode, you really feel that this should be a 10-minute episode. Like, there's no point having it or 12, there's no point having it 24, right? It could easily be in half the episode. You could cut away 5 minutes between opening and actually playing the game, like the last 5 minutes or so what. It could be like very shortened out. So you easily could have done it in half the time frame, easily. I think that's probably the biggest issue, right? With all the episode, as of the conclusion of the whole anime. So anyway, see you guys during the next season. I hope it'll be a good animes. No, unfortunately, no gambling anime I've seen. Gambling anime is always sparse, right? So, I will just say, people, if you've seen it yet, go and watch Akagi, go and watch Kadi, go and watch One Outs. Way better manga, way better anime in this. Both manga and anime, way better. A bunch of other, like, more gambling focused, like sport focusing, like He Couldn't Go and so on. I would also recommend early, much more than this, but especially those three are very, very like seinen manga, which is way better than this. So anyway, see you guys and have a great day.